Hi, everybody. This is Bob Iacchino from Path Trading Partners, along with Mike Arnold, my co-founder, and this is an afternoon Path Chat covering the futures markets for May 10th. Well, interesting day. Before Mike gets started, he's going to talk to you about the Dow Jones Transports, the Dow, the S&P, NASDAQ, and crude oil. Crude oil, interesting. The EIA figures came out today and actually were more bullish than the API. And the API I called neutral with a slightly bullish lean. The EIA report was definitely bullish. A draw in crude of 5.2 million barrels for the week of May 5th. And also a draw in gasoline of 200,000 barrels. The API had a large draw also in crude oil, 5.7 million barrels. But it had a build in gasoline, 3.1 million barrels. So it was a mix on the API, but it was definitely a bullish figure in the EIA, and we've got crude oil back above $47. The settling in of the firing of CIA Director James Comey, markets took him in stride. The news is still in hot cycle, but the markets kind of ignored the political turmoil that this may have caused. Dow Jones finished slightly lower. S&P and NASDAQ slightly higher. I would call all three of them virtually unchanged. Mario Draghi spoke today and got kind of riled up. Some of the Dutch members of parliament throwing questions at him, the kind of questions he's not used to, and he answered them in a pretty terse manner. For example, he was confronted with the possibility of the Netherlands quitting Europe's monetary union by Thierry Baudet. I'm probably not saying that right. And Mr. Draghi very angrily said the euro is irrevocable. This is not a treaty. I will not speculate on something that has no bias. He also said, in again very terse language, the ECB's policies helped create 4.5 million jobs. This is the reality. The rest is speculation. Also asked what would happen if a Eurozone member needed to restructure its debt. He said, we don't want to speculate on the probability of things that have no chance of happening. Why are you asking me that? Very short. This guy's normally pretty unflappable. But you can understand some of the things that were happening. For example, at one point in the Dutch parliament, when the ringing of the bells happened, which happens in Dutch parliament, one of the members of parliament called out that that was the sound of the end of your QE policies, or quantitative easing, however that's translated in Dutch. He also was presented a tulip, which, if you don't know what happened with the tulip markets in the Netherlands, you should Google that because it's a pretty interesting market example of the cornering of the tulip market. Anyway, moving on, economic calendar. The vast majority of the trade balance numbers that I talked about this morning in the Path Chat for Japan came out better than expected or right at the expectation. Interesting, Japan's buying of foreign bonds was much better, while their buying of foreign stocks was slightly down. Their trade balance basis yen was better as well. Having said all that, let me turn it over to Mike to let you know what he's seeing on the charts. Mike, it's all yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Bob. Starting with the transports tonight. Transports breaking down, nearly closing on our significant level, just below our significant level. Not triggering a trend line trade, not technically into an advanced clear path yet. We'll be watching if this down move follows through. Next key area of support we will be watching is about this 9,025 area. If we get especially close down there and below this significant level, we'll be watching for eventual fall down to about this 89.35 for a first target, and then this 88.88 level for a second target. So those are the key levels you can be watching for. On a rally back up, we have some resistance around this 91.20 area, then the 91.35, and if we get through there, you can watch for about 91.50 to 54, and then our full resistance area on a move back up is around this 91.90 to 9200 area. Over to the industrials. Industrials also slight down day to day, went down, tested our 25% GAN level, didn't quite get down to the rising 21 rotation. So key areas to watch for tomorrow, this 20,900 area right in here. That's broken about 20,860. Then if we get through there, you can see a possible drop to 20,811 to 20,801. Rally back up. Resistance right around this 20,980 area. If that is broken, you can watch for 21,050 and then a possible retest of the most recent swing highs, which come in about 21,070. Then on a very strong rally, we have prior highs and a GAN projection level coming in about 21,160. Over to the S&P. S&P traded down, tested the rising 8 area just below yesterday's low and closed up on a continued rally tomorrow. Let's update this level to the right place. It snapped the wrong place. On continued rally up tomorrow, watch for 2400 first level of resistance, 2403 second level, and then we really don't have anything until the 2413 level. On a pullback, 2388 to 90 is going to be first levels of support. 2383 followed by 2377 on a very big drop, 2373. Finally, over to the NASDAQ. NASDAQ inside day to day. We've been seeing a few of those in various markets recently. High wasn't above yesterday's high, low wasn't above yesterday's low. Slight down day. Very narrow range today for the NASDAQ. On a rally tomorrow, first levels of resistance are about 5687 area to 5688, then 5711 to 5712, then 5730. And on a really big rally, you'd be watching for 5772. Pullback, key areas, 5645 area to about the 5637. That's going to be your first levels of support. Then we're coming in right about a 5622, and then on a bigger drop, 5604 to 5600. So those are the levels you could be watching for in the NASDAQ. Finally, let's just wrap up today with crude. Crude oil, talked about this short-term bottom possibly. We did get a rally today up to the key levels we talked about. 37.5 GAN level, 47.53 to a prior breakdown zone, 47.70. And the high today was 47.78. On a continued rally tomorrow, this 47.67 to 78 is going to be very key resistance. If we get through that, watch for minor resistance about 48.10, followed by more significant resistance 48.50 to 48.60 area. On a pullback, minor support about 47.09, then next level is 46.90 area, and then finally we could drop to about 46.44 to 46.25 as the first and second major levels of resistance below that. That's all we have for you. Back to you, Bob.
Thank you, Michael, and thanks to you guys for watching. If you like what we're doing, hit like and hit subscribe, and we will talk to you in the next Path Chat. Cheers, everybody.